as the public records as applicable. Rise for pledge. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. I'm here, Sunny's here, Justin's here, Adrian's here, Mario's here, and of course Aaliyah is not. Wouldn't expect her. Approve agenda.
I move.
Second.
Second by Wright. All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from the public?
None.
None, so we'll dispense. General presentation regarding proposed trustee area plan. Attachments presented by demographer. Proposed maps. Dr. Levitt? You're up, sir.
Well, good evening and happy New Year. I apologize, I just noticed that we didn't change the 25 to the 26, but your eyes are not deceiving you, it is a new year. It's a pleasure to be back here tonight to talk about our draft maps. This is our fifth and final hearing on the draft maps. Tonight, the board will have an opportunity to make a selection of a map, and following the selection of the map, set an election sequence for the district. Following tonight's meeting, this map will go before the County Committee on School District Organization to approve this final map. That will likely take place in the next couple months for first use of these new trustee area boundaries this November. And just as a reminder, no terms of current board members are cut short by this process. Every board member is entitled to serve for the full term that they were elected to. In addition, it doesn't change the board's responsibility to all residents within the district, including all parents, students, and affiliated community members. So this is really just for the purposes of electing a board of trustees as mandated or provoked by the California Voting Rights Act. As just to run through this for one last time, our rules and goals for drawing districts are also our criteria for evaluating the maps. All the maps you'll see tonight meet the equal population requirement. That is, the difference in population between the largest and smallest is under 10% of the population of a district, of a trustee area. In addition, we follow all the requirements of the Federal Voting Rights Act. Race was not a priority in any of these maps. But each of the maps do contain a majority Latino trustee area and an area that has a substantial African American population as well. In addition, all of our maps are geographically contiguous. That is, they have one outside boundary. And where we really see the differences between the maps really comes down to the differences in neighborhoods and communities of interest. Where do we draw those boundaries between different parts of the school district? We only have one real city or CDP with population in our district. That has been taken into consideration, as we'll see in the different maps. We also do our best to follow those easily identifiable boundaries. And as we talk about the yellow and yellow 2 maps, we'll note that we've made changes to make sure that those boundaries were more easily identifiable, following actual paved roads rather than some of the unpaved roads. And finally, compactness, not bypassing one group of people to get to a more distant group of people. I'll admit some of our trustee areas are quite large because we're dealing with a large rural area that in parts is very sparsely populated. But I think that all of our maps certainly meet the compactness requirement given the census block geography we're working with. And then finally, none of our maps were drawn with the purpose of favoring or discriminating against an incumbent political candidate or political party. Our discussion to date on the maps has focused on those neighborhoods and communities of interest. And to this point, I do not know where any current board member or potential board member resides. And so other considerations that we've looked at, including future population growth, future school site location, those can be taken into consideration after we've taken into consideration all of the mandated criteria. And as we'll talk about, certainly the desire to make sure that we don't have all the school facilities bundled into one trustee area. has come up with discussion of several of these maps. I also do have our interactive review map available tonight, so we can zoom in and out, search for locations if there are any questions or if people would like to see more detail. But to run through each of the maps, broadly speaking, the green map was an attempt to use Rosamond Boulevard and the 14 freeway as much as possible to create sort of 4 quadrants. As we see, areas 1, 2, 4, and 5 kind of form 4 trustee areas coming out. And then 3 is that really self-contained, densely populated part of Rosamond. The orange map, on the other hand, was drawn to create trustee areas that deliberately crossed Rosamond. And as we see, 4 of our 5 trustee areas cross Rosamond Boulevard in this map. The purple map, the last of our original 3 maps, was an attempt to look at what a sort of east, west, and central area might look like, particularly a trustee area 2 that follows the freeway. So that some of those large census blocks that go along the freeway were all kind of put together into one single trustee area. Now, at the first hearing, we discussed the possibility of another way of crossing the freeway to the south in order to pick up what might be potential new elementary school sites at the south end of the district. This led to the creation of the yellow map and the yellow 2 map. And so the yellow map was our first attempt to do this. As you can see, it kind of goes all the way to 65th Street. Board members and community members also did not like the way it divided the park community, the Union Park community in Area 4. And so as a result, at our last meeting, we worked to develop the yellow 2 map. And this is really a map that also crosses the freeway in that similar way, goes along the southern end of the along the district. But instead of going out to 65th Street, this mostly follows 45th and 50th Street. That's a block boundary that kind of goes all the way down to the south end of the district in the way that it wraps around. It also puts some of that new growth, especially around 40th Street and Holiday in the West Park community, divided more between areas 2 and 5. In addition, it also unites the Union Park area of Area 4, crossing the freeway along Rosamond. So that Area 3 kind of has just that little bit of a community of area that's on the eastern side of 14 freeway. And so, like I said, this one also kind of combines that. It divides the rural areas up in really between areas 1, 4, and 5. 4 and 5 going all the way to the eastern end, and 1 containing all the sparsely populated areas to the west. And so I'm happy to talk a little bit more about any map tonight, or to zoom in or out. Following the selection of a map tonight, we'll talk more about our sequence of elections. Essentially, that's simply the process of assigning the current the divisions in the map that you choose to a particular trustee or to a particular election year. All of our maps right now have a proposed sequence of 1, 3, and 5 in 2026 and 2 and 4 in 2028. I really stress that that is just a kind of sample that we're showing. The board must assign 3 areas to Area 2026 and 2 areas to 2028, but they can be any numbers depending on what the board chooses. And so we'll talk more about that after we select a final map. But we want to just put that out there that will be part of our discussion today. And so with that, I'm happy to answer any questions or go into more detail on any of the maps. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions?
I don't.
No?
Shall we?
I feel like we've been through this enough that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
I,
know which
is
map.
there a motion to be taken for which map to go to?
No. Well, I think we gotta open for public hearing first.
Let's go.
All right, so it's
So made.
all right. Do I have a motion to open?
I did.
You got it.
Second.
Second by Ray. In favor?
Aye.
Okay, no student trustees, so, all right. Any comments?
Comments from the public?
6:15.
6:15, thank you.
6:15. Sorry, thank you. Anybody, no comments from anybody from outside, I guess. Do I have a motion to go back?
I'll make a motion, we go to our regular meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6:15.
6:15. Okay, board discussion and possible action to approve the resolution 25-2608, authorizing transition by trustee area election system, adopt trustee plan, and establish sequence of elections. We have that attached. Mrs. Gaines?
Mr. President, I would like to advise the board to consider changing, and I believe Dr. Levitt said that it could be the trustee areas for the 2026 election could be changed, and I do believe that you want to give that some serious consideration for the three. I think you need to take a good look at 1, 3, and 5. I believe that you need to switch out possibly one of those.
I think we need to remove number 5 and put in number 2 for the 2026 election.
You wanted
So we
to,
want to adopt the trustee area plan area first, right?
I think it's all inclusive.
I think it's one, I think one could remain,
2 and 3.
3 could remain, and I think you need to keep 2, but 4 and 5, am I correct, board need to go to 2028?
Right, so
5,
the
no problem.
sequence for 2026 should be trustee areas 1, 2, and 3.
Three.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3.
2028 should be 4 and 5.
Yes.
And then we're talking about yellow two. Right?
Yellow two.
Yellow 2.
Okay, so
Well,
that's the first.
Wait,
Go ahead.
can we, I think there's some concern about that, actually. Perhaps, yeah, I have a presentation on the order of elections that I can share with you to give you a little bit more context on how this all works under the law. I think given the way that districts are drawn, 1, 3, and 5, there really isn't a lot of discretion in terms of departing from the proposed order of elections that NDC has set forth for yellow map number 2. So if I could bring up just briefly this presentation, we can walk through that. So the way the law works for school districts particularly, every type of jurisdiction has its own rules regarding how this goes about. Cities have a fair amount of discretion in terms of setting their terms. School districts are a little bit more constrained by the education code. As you know, there are 3 seats that are up for election in 2026. And then the other 2 are up in 2028, because that's currently, how the terms work. There are 3 of you who were elected, your terms are ending this year, and then the other 2 go on through 2028. And the education code says that everybody's going to serve out their entire term. So we, as NDC has proposed, there have to be 3 areas. Under the elections code, the rules are that the districts chosen for the elections have to, 1, give special consideration to the purposes of the California Voting Rights Act, take into account the preferences expressed by the members of the districts, and the primary consideration cannot be race. But the additional factors here are provisions of the education code, sections 5017 and 5021A. Again, they say that any incumbent board member shall serve out the term, but also they go ahead and provide that any succeeding board member shall be elected from the trustee area of residence by trustee area voters. And the next vacancy is filled by voters of a trustee area without a resident trustee. So there won't be a resident trustee in areas 1 and 5 at the end of this year because the terms of office for those, the trustees who live in those areas are expiring. And so that's why the proposal has been to have 1, 3, and 5 move forward as the areas up for election in this year. Because otherwise you'll end up with trustee areas that have no trustee in them for a 2-year term beginning in 2026 and going through 2028.
Technically, that would be wrong. You're saying 5 would be up in 26, but that's not correct. If we chose yellow 2 map, which we have all pretty much shows.
So as I am, and if I'm wrong about this, please tell me, but as what I'm told is that there's currently 1 incumbent trustee in area 1 incumbent trustee in area, a 2026 incumbent trustee in area 1, 2 2026 trustees in area 2, no trustee at all in area 3, and then 4 and 5 are trustees in 2028. Is that correct?
I don't think so.
No. Are you looking at yellow 2 map?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Are you looking at the yellow 2 map?
Yellow 2, yes. Yellow 2 map.
On yellow 2 map, there's a trustee in each area. Is that not the information you have?
So my understanding is that area 2 has both trustee Rendon and Hepburn living in that area. Now, it's possible, given the way the locations were geocoded, that's a mistake, because occasionally they'll put an address on the wrong side of the line. And so, I believe it's trustee Rendon who's right on 30th Avenue. And so if she's on the west side, then she would be in area 2. If she's on the east side, in area 3. And so that's how we concluded that there were 2 in that area. But again, occasionally the geocoding comes out incorrect. So if that's not the case, then, and they are all in, she is, there is 1 in each, then, you would still, I think, do areas 1, 2, and 3 in 2026, because you still have people who are residing in 2028 in areas 4 and 5. And so you would then, you still have the same problem where if you didn't assign 1, 2, and 3 for 2026 elections, you would end up with a trustee area that has nobody elected at the end of the year when the resident trustee's term expires.
I think that's what our intent was, to have 1, 2, and 3 in 26, and then 4 and 5 in 28.
Maybe I misunderstood.
Sam, are you in 2?
That,
I'm in 2.
if that's the intent of the proposal, then we agree with that.
Yeah, because I think this line, area 2, it goes up 30th, and you are on, your address is what,
So here's
30th?
Sandwall, my house.
30th Sandwall in your house.
So can we figure out where Adrian is? I'm curious. I thought she was in
Adrian, are you on a?
3.
Summer Breeze is not listed here.
You live on Summer Breeze?
Are you on the east of 30th or west of 30th?
I guess closer this way, so I'm closer to high school, so east.
So you're east.
East. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3 would work. If we need to make proposals, I will propose the map and all that. And then
So you say you're east of 30th?
So that looking
Yes, ma'am.
north, you're in, then she would be in 3, right?
Yeah,
I just,
according to,
Yep, she's in trade.
but yeah, so, let's see. Where am I? High school. Yeah.
Oh,
West.
said we could bring up
Yeah,
the
I'm
map.
closer to high school.
Dr. Lovett said he could bring up the map, right? You could do the interactive map.
can we
Yeah.
scroll in more on 3? I think that's what you're recommending.
Yeah. And
And I think one of the takeaways though is that either way, I think we do end up with areas 1, 2, and 3 in 26, and areas 4 and 5 in 2028. It's merely a question of whether their incumbent lives on West Street side of the road. Either way, the sequence should be 1, 2, and 3, and then in 26, and 4 and 5 in 28.
Yeah.
I think the mistake might have been on, it looks like on the NDC, on your presentation, it said 1, 3, and 5 were in 2026.
I'll explain that, because we drew the maps without knowledge of where any current board members live, we simply put the 3 trustee areas that are odd in the year that elects 3, and the even trustee areas in area 2, or in the the year that elects 2. And that's why we note that those would change after selection of the map. But what we find that does is it kind of reduces the discussion of which district is going to elect which year, which trustee is going to elect which year, until after the selection of the map. And now as Chris has done his presentation, with knowledge of where the current board is, we can make that adjustment now at the selection of the map. And you can adopt a resolution with 1, 2, and 3 in 2026 and 4 and 5 in 2028.
I think that might be what the confusion, where it came from then.
Yeah, no, it's 2 provisions of law that are in conflict with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's Sacramento for you.
That's government. So,
Tony, would you like to
I propose yellow 2, and then I propose 1, 2, and 3 for 2026, 4 and 5 for 2028.
I would like to see it.
Okay,
You have a board member who would like to see the,
Dr. Lovett, can we,
Could we
Can we scroll in on the area between on the border of 2 and 3, please?
on the yellow map.
On yellow
go
2?
ahead.
We are on yellow 2, on the border between 2 and 3. Get 30th Street up to Rosamond Boulevard, and then up 35th.
Can you pull up the map though so we can see it? We have a board member requesting that.
I can, if, you know, we also do have our map from the presentation I can pull up, or if you have a question about a specific address, I can certainly share. Yeah, I can certainly search for it right now to zoom in on it.
Why don't you give him your address?
Or a specific area, if there's like a 30th and a particular street you want to maybe zoom in on.
Yes, it would be Summer Breeze, 30th and Summer Breeze Avenue.
So we're looking about right at the center of the screen. Let me try to make this a little bit bigger.
Okay, if we can have your screen shared, please.
You need to share, Justin.
Oh, is it not sharing?
No, no.
I'm sharing mine right at the moment.
Oh, we
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you, let's do that, and I'll share mine now. And I will make the streets a little bit more visible. So keep in mind that a lot of these street maps, image maps, those can be a few years out of date, especially with respect to new developments. Sometimes they don't always show up. But we see here Summer Breeze has this cul-de-sac right before 30th. Along, and it's all in the blue area 2.
We still don't show.
They can't see your screen. It's not sharing.
Maybe it's on a different.
We do a co-host, so.
It's showing that it's screen sharing on mine, so let me try, I'll try again.
Is it on 30th or 35th?
Maybe the
30th.
view.
Is it showing up now?
It says he started stream sharing in some tab. It said something.
Screen sharing.
Quick stop share.
Maybe change the layout.
Let me minimize it, no, that's me.
Okay, if it's 30th year and you would say you're both the same. I thought it was-
We didn't have an issue before.
East side of 30th.
There's
Yeah, I'm just not sharing my screen as a whole. Maybe that will work.
Well, the
And
east
the
side of
sharing,
30th,
you can
but
put
I
multiple
think she
hosts.
needs to be on the west
Do you share?
side.
Possibly.
This is 30th.
It's weird because I can see it. Can you see it, Chris?
Yeah, I can.
Change maybe the view.
No, that's mine.
They could see it. Okay, they can see it.
We were able to see it earlier, but now,
If you click stop share.
See, if tab says just.
Does somebody else have screen sharing on?
Put that-
there we
yes,
go,
there
got
there
it,
goes.
got it.
There you go.
Okay.
So what is that street?
That
On
30th.
the west of area 3, what is that street? The west, right there,
If you go up, like,
right there, what is that?
So
after Desert Cloud,
this street is Summer Breeze. It ends in the cul-de-sac just before 30th Street. And this green and blue are separated by 30th Street.
So are you on the east side of 30th?
I'm right here at the end.
she's,
So
she's
she
on
is
the
on the
west
west
side. She's on
side.
the
Yeah.
west side of 30th.
So here is 30th, there's a sound wall.
So we have 2 in the city.
So
And we've got Patty Rose and Janine Avenue that both intersect with 30th, north and south of Summer Breeze.
Yeah, because Janine, Summer Breeze is right around the corner from Janine, yes?
Yeah.
yes, Jenny is right on the opposite side. Like I said,
So, Dr. Levitt, help me understand, and I apologize, you would think by now I truly get it, but, okay, let's just say that we have currently 2 board members in District 2, Area 2, and I've heard you say repeatedly, let's say they're both up for reelection in 26. Okay, so I get it, because neither one of them, they both would serve up through 26, and then they would either run for reelection against each other, or at that time, anybody could run for election in Area 2, correct?
Or Area 3, it's Area 3.
Or Area
There's no
3.
trustee in Area 3.
Yeah, so
Everybody who lives in Area 3 could run, and anyone who lives in Area 2 would run in 2026.
So,
in those trustee areas respectively.
so 1, 2, and 3 would still work.
We would serve out our entire term.
Yeah.
And if we want to run again, we would run in our prospective trustee areas, and anyone in other areas are able to run, and then it's up to the voters in
Correct.
those particular areas.
Correct.
because they said they couldn't place these based on
Right.
where we live.
Correct.
Now,
Yeah.
I have a quick question since we're in the middle of all this. Right now, we have no one in Area 3. If no one runs in Area 3, can we pick somebody at large?
They'd have to be in that area.
But what if nobody steps up in Area 3?
Have to be-
Provisional?
Yeah,
Yeah, you would end up appointing to fill that vacancy.
But we would
But
only be
then-
able to
Maybe no
appoint
one
from
ran.
somebody that lived in Area 3, though,
Correct.
Yes.
right? So we'll just, and this was one of our problems with going through the districting, right, with the zones, was if somebody in Area 3 just decided not to run, that spot would go vacant for years possibly, and nobody wanted to toss their hat in the ring. We couldn't appoint another person from area 2 to serve for area 3. So that was one of our largest points about all this 4 months ago.
And Mr. Wright, tell me how many schools we have in Area 3?
One,
Which one is that?
high school.
Well,
High
technically, we have
school,
3. We have
Abe
3.
Lincoln,
well, yeah,
Rare
3.
Earth.
Yeah, we got 3.
We have 3.
We have 3. We have 3 schools in Area 3 with no
So-
representation.
So I guess the hopes would be in the 26th election in November, somebody in June, July decide to actually run for the position in that area, so it's served. If not, we go on a 4-person team on this board, which makes it very difficult.
Or try to find someone who will accept an appointment to serve in that position at that point.
That's what I'm saying, but they'd have to reside in
have
that
to
area.
reside in that area?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
What if nobody will step up?
You don't have it.
There's no choice.
Unfortunately, the way trustee areas work, it's gotta be someone from that area.
I know, but we've had people resign for whatever reasons. So most of the time it's been because they had to move away. And the population is very condensed, say. Most of the people who have ran were in the area around area 2. I don't think we've ever had anybody in area 3 step up to the, when we had to fill a position.
Yeah, you might, I mean,
We haven't had areas before.
Area 3, yeah, it's a whole different ballgame now. It's a bigger area, but interesting that, yeah.
I'm just saying, if for some reason nobody applies, even say nobody runs in that area, and we end up with just 2 people getting elected for the next board, and then we try to go out to the public to get somebody to come in to say area 3, because that's the one that's contested right now, and nobody steps up. Can just out of the, if nobody tries to fill that vacancy at all, can we go outside of that?
No.
You can't, so you have
No.
to stay with a 4-member board?
Until
So
someone
someone
steps up,
steps in.
until we find someone, until somebody gets recruited. It's-
But there is a way to where we could eventually change it to where we go by trustee area and then we go by at large for 1 or 2 members,
We cannot.
like a hybrid.
I'm sorry, say that last word again.
I thought there was an option also in the future if we ran into that to where we could change it and go to a hybrid model to where we've in a sense tested the theory of doing this. You only had 3 people run for 5 positions or whatever, and then maybe you had 2 that were at large for the entire 300 square miles that we cover. You could change that, I think, in the future if you ran into that problem, right?
In theory, that is permissible under the education code. It would still be subject to challenge under the California Voting Rights Act because it would still have an at-large component.
Yeah.
But in a sense, we would be showing that nobody's wanting to run in those positions. How could we be sued for such?
You can.
So,
Yeah,
just,
so I mean, to that point, I think if you had a track record of that, you might be able to, it wouldn't be without any risk, but I think you would have a reasonable argument that if you did it and then someone tried to sue you, you had that record. Because look, the California Voting Rights Act is based on the success people have in getting elected or not, and so every district is based on its own individual facts. And if you had those facts, you might have a decent case for saying, look, we are not in violation because of our electoral history. We couldn't get anybody to run.
So
But I do think you would need to have that sort of have tried and failed, and not just assume that that's going to be the case tonight, for example.
No, I completely understand that would be a future case, but it is, nobody wants to have the school board only 4 members for the next 3-4 years, so.
Yeah, no, I understand.
yeah. Janine.
I think the problem is defending it. Even if you have a good case, it still costs a lot of money, unfortunately, to defend it. I mean, isn't that kind of where Santa Monica is right now?
It's right behind us.
Yeah.
It's a street over from us.
Okay. Well, I mean, no matter what, right now, we have no choice. I understand that. So,
Why don't you have them yours?
I could see where my street is right here.
so
I'm on the east side of 40th Street. I'm like right, like Firebush doesn't go all the way up, but like Firebush, it goes like this. Firebush, Imperial, Ginny. Jasmine. My mom's street is Ginny, Jasmine. But yeah, I'm right here on the cusp.
So I still recommend yellow 2 and 1, 2, and 3 for 2026 and 4 and 5 for 28.
There's no.
Was that a question?
Yeah, on the orange.
No,
map,
I was
you're-
just giving my
You're a
recommendation.
little
on what I'd
bit
like
of
to
trouble.
see.
Four in the
Yeah.
orange map, right?
I'm in 4.
On the orange map, right? Nobody's in 5 on the orange map. But then on the orange map, you and I are in the same area.
How do you have to go with yellow?
Suck it up, Buttercup. I don't know.
Yellow 2.
Yeah. Go for yellow too.
You don't want to try to reconfigure yellow too so that it meets your
No,
needs?
we can't, we don't have time to reconfigure anything.
We don't want it, yeah.
And then technically, we're not allowed to reconfigure maps based on where everyone lives.
Because then you'd also have to print and display said new map for, and
And have discussion and all that, so.
Yeah, we'd be
Kind
pushing
of
this out
change it
further,
a little bit anyway.
subject to, more legal actions if we kept pushing out.
All right, so
Okay,
I say yellow 2.
all right, so let's do this. All right, so I have a motion
I'll second.
okay. I took care of that one. All right. For yellow 2, 1, 2, and 3 for 2026, 4, 5 for 2028. Any more discussions?
We could discuss it for hours, but
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
So that motion was to approve the resolution as well, correct?
Motion to approve
Right,
resolution,
sure.
motion for yellow 2, and motion for 1, 2, and 3 in 2026.
Because it
4,
was
5,
all
2028.
okay. Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
I,
I'm
Aye.
Hearing 5 ayes,
so.
motion passes.
Looking at it.
Okay,
On this one, it's.
All right.
I would ask under 11, anything else.
no,
Anything else that we need to
if we
complete?
have any. Okay, so.
Legal, anything else?
Anything else to add from our panel? You're awful
Not for
quiet.
me. No, not for me.
Nothing, I don't think there's anything else you need to do. You have the copy of the resolution, right?
I sure
Yes.
do, yep.
Yeah.
Just need to fill it in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Okay. Well, then thank you for your
sounds
time.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you all.
input. And we'll move forward.
I'm sorry, it's so hard to hear you guys.
They said thank you for your time.
Thank you for your
Thank
time and
you.
input.
Oh,
you.
thank you guys. I'm
Thank you.
sorry. I know it's not exactly what you wanted, but it will protect the district, so it's what you gotta do.
Understand.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you
night.
all.
Okay,
You too.
all right. Well, do we, okay, is there nothing else? Do I entertain a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6:44.
6:44.
What'd you say?
But I don't think
So
there
I
is.
was trying to get both you guys in.
I didn't realize.
I thought you